Hi, I'm Xander and welcome to my channel. I am a songsmith and a poet. My channel is about my creative process. It's about what led to the creation of a particular piece, what that piece sounds like, and anything else that might be of relevance to that particular piece, quite often things that just happen to come to mind. Before I get into what piece we're doing today, I would like to pay my respects to the Waterwallen people on whose lands I'm broadcasting today, to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to any other elder who might be watching. This is, was, and always will be Aboriginal land. Sovereignty was never ceded. This is stolen land, and it's important that we acknowledge that. I'd also like to pay my respects to the elders of the craft, both broadly speaking, and to the elders of the two traditions that I'm part of, which are wildwood and reclaiming. This particular piece that we're doing today is something that fits very strongly within my wildwood tradition and my wildwood roots. It's akin to reclaiming to a certain degree as well, that it really talks about my, it's more my wildwood thread that is coming through in this particular piece. It's called My Requiem and I, and it's a solstice song. It was written at the summer solstice in 2021, in December 2021. But since it's nearly winter solstice, I thought, why not do this one today? Because it's a solstice song. The solstice is coming up, so why not? My Requiem and I is emerged like a number of my songs from a particular ritual that I do on the majority of the Sabbats, including solstices and equinoxes, where I go to an edge place near to where I live, which is between the suburbia and wild places, and have a space where I leave an offering the space is something that I find akin to fae folk, local fae folk. And so I tend to travel there with one of my spirit kin, fetch mate, who is themselves akin to the fae, as kind of as a protection in many ways. Also because walking with them helps me to get into the general mood, doesn't really capture it, but to the general state that I need to be in order to do the ritual properly. Because doing something like this, you're doing it on multiple levels. You're doing it, yes, in person, but you're also doing it within the worlds, between the worlds, interacting with all sorts of other worlds and entities and energies that happen to be around you. I don't generally use the word witch for myself. I generally use the word seer, but as a witch and as a seer, most of the time we're aware of these sorts of things anyway. On some level, it might be something that we're always very conscious about, or it might be something that we know is at our edges, but it's something that generally it's not something that we separate out, especially not in wildwood. In wildwood, it's very much acknowledged that these sorts of things are intertwined. A stone is never a stone. A stone has spirit. A stone has energies. It's interacting. Yeah, just like everything else around us and within us. And so using song, it's not just something that talks about the physicality of going to a place, of leaving an offering and traveling back. It's also a process. It's a process of entering into trance state. It's a process of consciously engaging and working with the energies around while it occurs. My Requiem and I generally started while I was moving, while I was on the track with my spirit kin, who I call Requiem. It's not his name. Their name. It's not their name, but it is a name that I refer to them by, a pet name, if you like, although they would not like the word pet. A term of endearment. That's a better way of putting it. So I generally on Sabbath will travel with this particular spirit kin, who I call Requiem. They're fae aligned. I'm going to a space that I associate with the fae. So to me, it's etiquette for me to be with my spirit kin who's understands that particular realm and can help me to wear the cloak of whatever I need to wear with to move into that particular space and be the etiquette that is required for that particular space. And the song basically describes what we were doing as we were doing it, and it's something that just emerged as we were traveling. This particular ritual, I'm sure I've mentioned a number of times because it's something I do a lot, and I find a lot of songs, poems, etc., come from this process. And one I've done previously, Waterfall, talks about the same place. And so My Requiem and I basically goes like this. Words. My Requiem and I walked a crooked path, by and by, by and by. And as we walked along, we thought we heard a laugh, by and by, by and by. My Requiem and I followed this silver song, by and by, by and by. And like a river's tide, it pulled us along, by and by, by and by. My Requiem and I came across a tree, by and by, by and by. There we left a kiss of gold from the honeybee, by and by, by and by. My Requiem and I, solstice blessings paid, by and by, by and by. May the coming year ahead be sweet and joyous made, by and by, by and by. My Requiem and I walked a crooked path, by and by, by and by. And as we walked along, we thought we had a laugh, by and by, by and by. So that song has a certain nursery rhyme-esque to it that I've mentioned before, because I find that particular quality to lend itself really well with things like trance work, with things like moving through song between the realms, between the worlds, blending that edge that we have between where we happen to be and others, so that we're more in tune with other energies and entities that might be around. And you'll notice that it sort of moves in a spiral, the way that it's sung with its continual increasing in pitch, and that circular by and by and going around and around and around. It's like a spiral, and that spiral is bringing you into a trance state. And that's basically what its purpose is. The by and by is and to me, it's a number 2 and repetitions of 2 that are important numerically for the, as I've mentioned in a few of the other sessions, energy. I'm an instinctive. I also work with energy, energetics, and that means that I'm quite often quite conscious of color, of number, of shape, and things like that in what I happen to do. So 2s are very much part of this particular song. Gold, the color gold is actually mentioned in the song. It's a golden song. Just like the doorways between spaces, for me, quite often are this kind of like a bright gold color. The spiral shape as well. It's a very universe kind of large board symbol that you see in so many places. I find a lot of energy symbols quite often are depicted in Paleolithic art, and it always surprises me anew when I'm reminded of that, when there's something that to me is an energetic symbol, and then I go to a place and there it is. It's etched in the stone, quite literally, from the Paleolithic period. And to me, it's a very deep, meaningful kind of thing. It's not just a weird scratch. It's something that is an energy symbol. So there is that particular aspect to it. So with walking with Requiem, when I do these particular things, it automatically places me into a particular state where I am quite aware of things that are happening at my edges. It's not that I'm not necessarily aware of that in other occasions. It's just that my senses are heightened. And when that particular song came through, the way that it was sung in pitch, it just happened. It happened naturally, and as it happened, we were stepping deeper and deeper into a trance state while we were walking, while we were doing the things. And that trance state made the edges between the worlds shimmer and be more transparent, more aware of all sorts of things around us, because of course it was the solstice, and the certain energies were afoot. One of the reasons for my fondness for nursery rhyme-esque songs in my craft, to me, when I keep thinking about it, goes back to things that I did learn in childhood, not just things like skipping songs, which quite often you skip around in a circle while you do, or you've got that rope which goes around in a circle around you while you're singing. Not just those ones, but for me, some of the more profound stuff that I sang as a child came from the Clancy brothers. So it came from Ireland, and were Irish children's songs that I heard on a recording that we played a lot when I was growing up, like Shellicky Bookie. Shellicky, Shellicky Bookie, put out your horns. All the ladies are coming to see ya. Shellicky, Shellicky Bookie, put out your horns. All the ladies are coming to see ya. Which has a similar quality. You've got that thing where you're moving up in pitch, You say it in one pitch, then you say it in another. It's also got that thing about twos, because you sing it to a snail. Snails have two horns, and that's what you're basically asking the snail to do, to put its horns out. And on the side of a snail shell, you tend to have a spiral, so it has that kind of energetic context as well, from that. So you've got a whole bunch of things, if you really want to go into that little rhyme, that are happening, which make it a lot more profound than a children's song. And I guess as an adult, when I was reflecting and thinking about things like Shalakibuki, it reminded me of how powerful nursery rhyme kind of songs can be, because they're couched in something that appears simplistic, but it's only simplistic on one level. And what they actually can do is to draw you into something that is beyond that particular level. Children can often see spirits a lot more clearly than adults, because adults have built up these walls in order to be able to go about lives and not have that constant distraction. Whereas children quite often don't have those walls, and they're very aware of the things around them in many instances. And so in my witchcraft, I find that in certain aspects, that childlike wonder, which I approach my craft with, especially my songs, means that I don't have these conscious walls that I have to traverse, and that everything is this wonder that is within every aspect of wherever I happen to look or reach or feel, because it's everywhere. It's within, it's without, it's everywhere. I think that's all I want to say for this particular one, My Requiem and I. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye.